Today's video is actually going to be me sharing how I dye my hair. I feel like it's sort of like a hot topic with a lot of people. It's very touchy. I dye my hair because I want to get shine. My hair is naturally dark, like it's black naturally. The reason I dye my roots is because genetically I have a lot of white hair. It's just like in the family. Like my sister has a lot of white hair also. So I dye my hair every like 8 to 12 months just to get rid of the white hairs. So I do dye it black on top of my hair already being very dark. It's like a half a shade lighter than black. So that being said, the dye that I used this time is the L'Oreal Feria Multifaceted Shimmering Color. And I got this one in the shade 21 Bright Black. It does say that this is a cooler shade, which makes sense because when it was on my hair and you'll see it like turned blue around my scalp, I'm like, oh my gosh, should I just dye my hair blue? Like, what is going on? I really liked this dye. I have never used this dye before. Whenever I dye my hair, I just pick up whatever is on sale because it's black. You know, I'm not too fussy. It's all gonna do the exact same thing to my hair. So I'm not too picky about what hair dye I use or what brand I use. So this time I used the L'Oreal Feria. Did I say that to begin with? Did I say it wrong? I don't really know. Yeah, in this it said it had like this aromatic shimmer serum. You'll see me put it in and it was like this little container thing of like this oil or something. It was really neat. And in the conditioner that I used, the conditioner was like shimmery, which it has it back here, which I mean, it gave me a lot of shine. So that's probably what that whole shimmer thing was about. So I do only use one box of dye. My hair is really long, like this is all my hair, but my hair is really thin. I have no hair. But it's a good thing because I only need one box. This box of dye was $7.99 on sale at Superstore. I have always dyed my hair at home. Whenever I go dark, I dye it at home. I have gone to salons in the past, like when I was in high school and stuff, and when I went blonde. I was blonde once. I always go to salons for that. But as of lately, like the past 4 years or something, I haven't really gone to a salon. Usually I do it at home, so I think I have a pretty good technique down of what I do. So without further ado, I'm going to show you how I dye my hair. This is my hair pre-dyeing it. It's pretty flat and boring, and I just dye my hair to give it some extra something. So I'm using the L'Oreal Feria and in the shade Bright Black 21, and it's a cooler color. Whenever I dye my hair, I make sure that I always follow the instructions pretty closely, and I'm just putting it on the gloves and making sure that I follow the directions. So I put everything that the direction says into the tube that it's supposed to go in. I do it in the order that they asked me to, and then I give it a good shake. So what I do first is I separate my hair into two, and then what I do is I work with the nozzle of the tube, and I actually separate my hair with it into about 1-inch sections, and then on the, I'm gonna say like row, it's kind of like a crop, I'm just putting the hair dye along the root, and then I'm doing that all the way down one side of my head and then working my way to the other side. I do this because it's really fast and easy and I don't need a comb or anything like that. It's just super easy for me to do it this way. And this is just to make sure that I have all of the roots done. I do it in about 1-inch sections, and then when I'm completely down to the bottom, I then go along my hairline around my face. My hairline is really uneven. I'm not really sure why it is like that, but I just make sure that every inch of it is covered, and then I start working the dye into my hair, pushing it back. Next, I just begin to work all of that dye into my roots and pulling it through my hair, so I just keep rubbing my scalp. Then with the area left in the back of my head, I do the exact same thing with the nozzle, separating my hair and putting it along the bottom hairline. Once it's all rubbed into my roots, I divide my hair back into two, and then I start working with pretty big chunks of hair because my hair is thin, and I just zigzag the dye down my hair and start working it through. I do this pretty sloppy because I'm not trying to necessarily dye all of my hair a new color, but rather just give it some extra shine. So
as I zigzag it down, you can see that I do use quite a bit of dye, but my hair is really thin, although it is long, so I do only use 1 bottle of dye, and I sometimes have a little bit left over. When I finish all the individual sections, I take it in one big one and make sure that I haven't missed any spots, so I just pull some more dye through it, and then I pin it up. And then I move on to doing the exact same thing to the other side. And do you see how blue it is around my roots? This was scaring me so much. I kept looking at the box thinking that, oh my goodness, did I buy like blue dye? But it was just like a cooler tone, and you'll be able to see that it is a cooler tone dye. Once again, once I finish all that side, I kind of just rummage through my hair, and any spots that I find could use some more dye, I put some more on, and then I pin it up. And for this box of dye, it's said to wait 20 minutes, so that's what I did. And just a tip, I usually do put Vaseline around my scalp, but I didn't have any, so makeup wipes do take off dye really well. I followed all the directions that were on the pamphlet that came with the box of dye. I just wash my hair, and I always run some argan oil through my hair just for some extra shine. I let my hair air dry just like I normally always do. This was the finished result. I had it in a braid overnight, and this was my hair naturally braided. I really loved this hair dye.